Hello, it's so good to see you again. I'm Barbara and together with Daniel I restored a historic sailing ship, Flying Coney. But right now we are moving Flying Coney from Lelystad, where we bought her and where we spent the last 2 years, to Sneek. It is our first big journey and so far we really enjoy it. Last time we made it from Lelystad to Lemmer over the IJsselmeer, and this time we go inland. Here in the Netherlands they have many inland waterways. They are used by commercial ships, and it is also quite common to travel on these channels with pleasure yachts. Flying Coney has a draft of 2.7 meters, so we are quite restricted where we can go. But since the route from Lemmer to Sneek is a commercial deep water route and all the commercial cargo ships are using it, it is actually deep enough. And also all the bridges on the way do open, so air clearance is also no issue. Anyway, going inland with a seagoing ship and motoring alongside cows, sheep and windmills is quite an adventure.
I would like to have you as a bowman today, so that you have both positions. And the first thing we do is we switch your line to this line in this direction. We take off that one. You can leave it on the port side for the lock, just in case. Then we still have that one. I go into gear backwards. You go forward, this gets loose again, and we can leave. We are waiting in front of the lock. There is a huge cargo barge coming out and a lot of sailing boats going in. So we thought we're not in a hurry to go anywhere. It seems like there are not a lot of sailing boats coming up, so it should be fine, should be less stressful. Let's take our time.
The lock went pretty well. There were not many other boats around, so we had it almost to ourselves, which makes maneuvering always a bit easier. However, there was also a bridge, and the lock keeper wanted us to move towards the bridge before he opened it for us. I have no idea why he didn't contact us on the radio or use the light to signal us to start moving. He used shouting and hand signals instead, where the red light signaled us to wait. So until we finally understood what he wanted us to do, he was already quite annoyed. Anyway, we made it through the lock and the bridge, a bit confused but without any troubles.
I do think we managed the lock quite well. Well, it wasn't easy because it wasn't a wide lock, but we did quite well. We did it at our own speed. We did it on our own speed, which was fine. Well, for us, not so much for the lock keeper. And I do think he's also the keeper of the opening bridge, what we have approached next. Instead of just sending us straight through, he waited for the last second to open the bridge, and we had to readjust, realign the boat. But the bridge went really, really well. It was a big challenge. It was quite tight, but we went in there smooth.
Well, arriving on Coney, so since I've been living there now for a month, in the first 2 weeks we weren't connected to shore power. In fact, we're still not. So we had to run a line with a cable drum to get our power inside. So, for example, charging phones Well, when I was alone, it was all right, but when Derek arrived, you know, we needed to organize a little bit to get our things charged, even for the drills, the batteries for the drills, the batteries for the lights. And it really changed everything when we got the power station, because the thing will charge pretty quickly, and we can use it all day long, plugging everything USB, USB-C for the phones. It's really handy, and we got 4 plugs. That's more than we need. It powers anything. It powers my fast charger for my phone, so it's really, really handy, actually, yeah.
Right now, traveling on Flying Coney is basically like going camping, because we have no running water or electricity. Solving the drinking water problem was pretty easy. We just bought a water canister. However, fixing the electricity is way more expensive and way more time consuming. So we are really happy that All Powers supported us with the R1500 power station. Especially on the trip, it was a lifesaver. It allowed us to keep all our camera gear charged, and we might have already mentioned that we could finally have coffee on the way, which is obviously important.
While on the way, I always need my little café au lait with my croissant. Thanks to All Powers for making this possible.
You're speaking in this accent?
Because I'm supposed to be French. Can I stop talking like that now?
But all joking aside, we do have this power station for quite a while now, and I must say I'm very impressed how powerful this little box is. Right now it basically powers the whole boat, and we only charge it with one slightly older 195 watt solar panel. We use it to keep our laptops charged while editing, for vacuuming, for power tools whenever we need them, and of course to make coffee. So overall, it drastically improved the living conditions aboard Flying Coney. And we are really grateful that All Powers helped us out. And if you want to get a power station yourself, then click on the link in the description and use the code SAILING to get 10% off.
For the main part of this journey, we motored along just by ourselves. And of course, when we approached this bridge, it got really busy. There was a barge and a sailing boat coming from the other side, and a smaller motor vessel overtaking us. The bridge only opens on the left side and is only wide enough for the barge in the middle. So we had to pass each other on the wrong side, which felt quite strange. But it worked out fine, and I guess if you travel regularly on inland waterways, you get used to it.
Just tell me something about the situation.
Oh, that was nice. That was nice. I'm pretty sure we had right of way because there was this green light flashing, but I wasn't 100% sure, and still not sure if it is the same lock keeper who just wanted to disturb me in this moment. No fun at all, but we managed it well. So we're now almost through the entire channel, and I think for a sea ship she's behaving quite well. She's a little bit wobbly, but that's normal. She's built for the open waters to go straight and not in a narrow channel. So with the deep keel, we do have some effects from the ground and from the banks of the channel, but that's manageable and absolutely no problem. The engine is singing out one long note, which made the crew a little bit tired, but I'm enjoying myself here. It's quite nice. That's why you buy a ship, and that's the moments you really enjoy. I love it.
So we moved the boat from Lelystad to Sneek. It was a lot of fun. Coney is a really slow moving boat. Runs at a really low RPM, moves well in the water. I mean, I don't know much about that, but it seems to move really well.
The impatience that Coney lives me is taking things slowly and securely. Works absolutely fine. There's no need to be in a rush or anything. She's a heavy girl. She behaves really nicely when she goes slow. While on the way, we went through a couple locks and bridges. Those, obviously, me and Derek had to be on deck in case we needed to make fast, or just in case of emergency, have the fenders ready. And on the second day, going to the canals and being able to see what the Netherlands really looked like, the kind of postal card pictures of it. It was pretty nice. I even fell asleep on the deck after the maneuvers.
Sneek welcomed us with cold, rainy weather, so we decided to take a day off and head to the Marine Museum in Den Helder to show our two volunteers a bit of the Netherlands.
And then it goes down, yeah? What are they doing here? Do you see anything?
Oh, it's trippy.
What does it do?
I don't know, but it's trippy. Look at it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it's for, but
You're compensating for double pictures or something like that.
the roll.
Rosin.
No, that's the rudder at the back. The rudder.
I feel like that movie when Matthew McConaughey had to take that German submarine, they had to figure everything out. Watch this.
That's manual in case something goes wrong. And then you have manual, you're driving the gear that's probably mechanically driving it back there.
Right.
When we approached our new berth here in Sneek, we moored alongside a very nice typical Dutch sailing boat. It's a skutsche, and here in Friesland it's kind of the national sport. There are races almost every weekend and they go out to train quite often. Since we will stay for quite a while, we had to move Flying Coney inwards and the skutsche and their support vessel outwards. So we don't have to move Flying Coney each time they want to take their boats out. And since Flying Coney is quite heavy, it makes more sense to have her inwards anyway.
We really enjoyed the day off. Going to a museum here in the Netherlands is always great fun, because usually you are allowed to play around with everything, and that makes it much more interesting. Unfortunately, the time with Tanguy and Derek, our 2 volunteers, comes to an end. It was nice having both of them, and they did a great job helping us to restore Flying Coney. They will both spend a few days in France, so Derek gets the chance to see a bit more of Europe before he has to go back to America.
Hello, YouTube. My month here is over already, and it's been absolutely incredible. My first impression of coming on the boat was the size of the project, and I think more than anything that is even bigger than I imagined when I first got here. This is a big task and a big project, and it's going to take a lot of people's help to get it done. So certainly, if you're interested, get in touch with these guys if you have some time to spare, or can donate in any way, I guess, because they certainly are going to need it for the foreseeable future.
When I first arrived, when we started getting rid of the steel that was in the boat, the tank that Daniel and Barbara ripped, because that made me realise how much work went into that boat and how much work needs to get into it. We got rid of, I think, 500 kilos of steel. I will never regret having said yes to that opportunity and, jumping making the step to come here, even if that was a bit sudden in my case. It was really a good experience, and I would recommend to everyone doing it if you have time.
And that's all we have time for today. The journey was a lot of fun, and we are so happy that we are finally at a new place. But all this, the journey, the videos and the whole refit project wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our lovely Patreons. So a huge thanks to all of you. You made this first sea trail possible. And for those of you who are interested in the data, we covered 40 nautical miles on 2 days. We reached a maximum speed of 8.9 knots and usually cruised along with a bit over 6 knots. We used 145 liters of diesel fuel to get here, and that means Flying Coney consumes 13.6 liters per hour. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.